My name's Nick, and welcome to the Painter's Mess. First, I want to start out and say thank you. I hit a milestone for YouTube, which is 500 subscribers, which isn't really a whole lot compared to a lot of other channels, but it's actually very exciting for me because that's halfway to the 1,000 subscribers you need for YouTube partnership, but then you have to get the watch hours. So I'm halfway to the halfway point of the requirements. Anyway, I'm super grateful and I'm amazed that there are so many people that want to watch these these videos that I make. And I just want you to know that I'm honored, and it really excites me, and it makes me want to put out videos more, even when it is difficult to put out videos because life is difficult sometimes. And, we get home from work and you don't really want to do anything. So it actually takes a lot of effort to sit and do these things, even just to sit down and paint, which I'm trying to paint for Adepticon, which is its own other problem. So again, just thank you so much. I'm very grateful and I'm really amazed. And if you can share these videos, so maybe one day I'll hit partnership, that'd be sweet. Cool. I also want to take a shout out to Sean at Horus Hersey. If you search his channel, I'll actually have it linked down in the description. But he's been putting out some Heresy stuff lately too, and he did a shout out to me because he's also a Death Guard player, and he had watched my Death Guard list building and commented on it, and actually put a post out on his YouTube channel highlighting my channel. So thank you, Sean. I really appreciate that, and hopefully you and I can get something together in the future and maybe make a video on it. I know you're over in over across the pond, so maybe if you come over here for Adepticon or whatever, let me know and we can meet up and have a game. That'd be pretty sweet. But with that, all that being said, let's go on to the Third Legion, the Emperor's Children. That's probably why you're here, right? So some quick info. If you're here for the lists and you just want to look at the lists and the lists I've built, they're down in the description below. So you could just skip watching altogether. But if you want to hear the why and how I made these lists, stick around and you might learn something fun. The next thing I want to put out is the app that I use. It's called New Recruit. So if you haven't used it before, or if you're new to the Heresy, you probably don't know how to use it. So I'm actually going to put a link in right here. It's going to pop up right here. Click that and watch the video on how to do it. You can do it on your phone. You can also do it on a web browser, a computer, a laptop, whatever. Just remember, wherever you save it, I don't think it transfers. I don't think it's cloud-based, so it's local, which means wherever you save your lists, that's where you're going to have to go to look at them later in the future. But let's get on to the Third Legion, Emperor's Children. Cool. So again, I'm going to be looking over here because this is where my screen is. Two screens. So if I'm not looking at the camera, that's why. Anyway, Emperor's Children, Fulgrim's not loyalists. They're traitors in the story, but some of them stay true. But they are the Emperor's not bodyguards because that's the custodes, but they're like the Emperor's entourage. They're basically I don't know how to describe it. I don't know enough about them, but I do know that they like to fight. So let's go with the disclaimer notes. Again, Heresy is a historical war game, so these lists are not representations of meta lists, although they can be. They can win. There's always a chance. So hopefully they're here for fun, and so you can make a thematic list for your Heresy games. So I did just do this very quickly, so if some of this is wrong, please forgive me on that. I'll fix it later. Anyway, let's go with the agenda. Housekeeping. We have the traits, and then we'll go into the lists. So I did the Loyal Sons, Emperor's Children, right? Flawless Blades and Lustful Ecstasy, and that one's actually is going to be really exciting. So we'll get into those here in a second. So Emperor's Children, the features of the Emperor's Children Legion. So their Legion trait is Flawless Execution. TLDR, they get an initiative bonus when they charge, right? So if you charge with them, they get +1 to their initiative roll, which means they usually swing first if they're using regular standard initiative or +1 weapons, which they have a bunch of. Their advanced reaction is Perfect Counter. So when a unit charges you, instead you charge them. So you get that +1 initiative from their Flawless Execution and challenge advantage if they have a character inside of it, or inside of that unit. So I had to pause for a second because I remembered that this Legion is actually one that has 2 Legion traits or Legion options. So the first one, the Flawless Execution, can be used for Loyalists or Traitors, and the second one is only for the Traitors. So I'm going to go through it real quick, and I have the book in front of me, so please excuse that. And And yeah, so I'm gonna go through it real quick. So the Legion trait is the Lords of Profligacy. Basically, when they get shot, they can stim up with some combat stims, and they get to become stupefied, which is they lose all tactical statuses. They get a 6-up feel no pain. They get +1 strength. They cannot be statused. They may not declare reactions, and they must use snapshots for all shooting attacks. And then they can make a cool check, and if the check is passed, they're no longer stupefied. So basically, they can make their own status, which is actually a good thing. So instead of being status, they just lose it, and then this happens from a shooting attack. The Gambit is when the Gambit, it's a broken mirror. The controlling player doubles any bonuses for outside support and also gains bonus if stupefied. So you can get into the charge with stupefied and then get extra bonuses that way. And then their advance reaction is when that unit is charged, they can also become stupefied, and they get a 5-up feel no pain instead of a 6-up feel no pain. So basically, they're just combat stimming it up, and they are going to fight, and they have +1 strength, and then they get some additional support when stupefied. So that's actually pretty cool. Basically, they're just going crazy on narcotics and stuff like that. So yeah. There's also a different specific detachment, and this one can only be used with Fulgrim Transfigured, which I've never made a list with Fulgrim Transfigured. I've never actually even seen the model in real life because it seems like it's a pretty easily broken model. But yeah, I didn't make any lists based off of this, but there are some pretty cool ones that you probably could do. I based it off of the flawless execution and the perfect counter, and we're just going to go from there. So the prime advantage is the Phoenix Warden. So it can be a Centurion in Tartaros Terminator armor. It will lose its ranged weapon and gain a Phoenix Power Spear for free. Otherwise, the Phoenix Power Spear is actually a pretty hefty charge for a weapon. So it's a power weapon plus another additional 10 points. So it's 20 points, but it's a really good weapon. Let's see, the Phoenix Warden gains the skill Unmatched rule on page 137. I'd have to go back and look at that one because I forgot what that was. Anyway, we'll skip that for now. Paragon of Excellence is that Gambit can only be selected during the face-off step of the challenge, and basically you get an additional +2 modifier to your focus roll. So that's super exciting because your focus roll is how you get to choose to go first, or you get the chance to go first. So again, their whole shtick is to be fast in combat and be able to go first. So that's actually pretty exciting. So and then a lot of their weapons, their special weapons, this says all have Reaping Blow. That's not true. That was from the Space Wolves one, so that's my bad. But a lot of these are initiative based, so they increase their initiative. So let's go through the Phoenix Power Spear and the weapons and all that. So the Phoenix Power Spear gets +1 initiative, its base attacks, +1 strength, AP3 damage 1 with the impact. So if you get the charge off of damage, so it could be damage 2 breaching 6 up. It's pretty effective and pretty good if you're hitting those 6-up breachings. And you're also swinging +1 initiative for the spear, +1 for charging. So you're already at a +2, and then if it's a challenge, you're at a +4 because you have your Gambit. So that's immediately +4 to your roll, which means you're probably swinging first. The next is the Phoenix Rapier and the Phoenix Blade. Phoenix Blades, I think, are on the unit, but the Phoenix Rapier is a legacy weapon. I believe the Rapier has impact damage. We'll go through it later, but it's basically something else. The Rapiers aren't bad. The Blades aren't bad either. One of them does have Duelist Edge, which is better for when you're in a challenge, which you don't really need to give to your standard dudes, but that's not a bad thing. The next thing is, and this is only for traders, the Sonic Shriekers and the Sonic Lance. The Shriekers are 15 points and the Lance is 10 points. I would give the Shrieker to any character that you can if they're going to sit with a unit in a trader list, or if you can give it to like the Sergeant, I would do it, because basically when that unit makes a charge move, the target unit that is getting charged cannot make reactions. So you can't get overwatched. You might be able to get volley, but you can't get overwatched. So that's actually really exciting. And then any of their other reactions can't be made. So if they have a Oh, if they have an advanced reaction that has something to do with the charge phase, it won't go off. So that's pretty exciting. The Sonic Lance is basically like a Sonic attack. It's a template attack. It's one shot, so wherever your template goes. 2 strength, so you're only wounding on 6s. It's AP 5 and it's damage 1, but it's also breaching 6s. So you basically just want to roll 6s and hope for the best. But that's actually pretty cool because it can also be used. It's an assault weapon, so it can be used in the volley attack. You're just hoping for breaching, and if it breaches on a regular squad, those dudes just die. And there's no save, so that's actually pretty sweet. If you can, I would also pick them as well. So let's go to the Phoenix, not Rapier. Sorry, Phoenix Blade, or the Palatine Blade. Not that, my bad. I think I put that Phoenix Blade. Palatine Blade. Is that right? Sometimes I confuse even myself. I'm assuming it's the Palatine Blade because that is where you can also swap. If a unit has, per the legacies, if a unit has a Palatine Blade, I think it can also swap out to a Phoenix Rapier. So going to the Palatine Blade squad, the Palatine Blade is at initiative, at attacks, +1 strength, AP 3, damage 1, breaching 5 up, duelist edge 1. I'm pretty sure duelist edge. Oh, hey, I flipped right to it. It gains a bonus in the focus roll. So it actually doesn't matter if the regular dudes have it or not. So I would swap them out. I like the impact damage and the breaching better anyway. So if you can, swap out for the rapiers. So on to the characters and the special units. So the Primarch of this Legion is Fulgrim. It's actually pretty solid stat line. And then you have Fulgrim Transfigured, which is the first of the Demon Princes that they released. So there's Fulgrim, and now they just released Angron. So that's also very exciting. And then we get into the rest of the Legion. So Lord Commander Eidolon, that's how I say it. Eidolon is your Praetor-esque character. He's pretty sweet. He does come with a jump pack. He's in one of the lists. Captain Lucius the Eternal, I think, is the 40k version. Basically, he can't die, which is pretty cool. Sol Tarvitz is the Loyalist command option. And then you have the Cacophony Squad, which is a Traitor Squad only. Phoenix Terminators, which can be both. Palatine Blade Squad can be both. And then you have Legacies. You have the Palatine Blade Aquile Squad, which is basically the Palatine Blade with jetpacks. They're pretty sweet. Stun Killers, which are amazing. And Rylanor the Unyielding. And I think that's it. I don't think I missed anything. I'm going to go through it real quick because I have it in front of me. And yeah, I think that's it. So that's actually pretty sweet. That's a pretty big, chunky list of units that you can choose from. And I'm pretty sure I've used all of them as we go through these lists. So yeah, let's keep going. All right, so Legion notes. This is another fast Legion. I would not say that this is in speed, but they are fast in melee, which is their whole story. They want to be the best at whatever they do. They want to be the best at melee. They want to be the best at shooting. So they always just want to win, which equates to always going first in combat, because, or at least they try to, because if you can swing first on your opponent, you could probably kill them before they can kill you. And one would say perfection. So onto the lists. Let's get into the Loyal Sons. So as this sounds, this is a list for the Loyalists instead of the Traitors. So we're going to start with our Praetor and our Terminator armor. We're going to start, and then we're going to go into our command with Sol Tarvitz, a Herald, and a Legion Champion. And then we're going to, for our troops, we're going to look at a Tactical Squad, a Despoiler Squad, and then your choice of a Tactical Despoiler or Inductee. They all have their benefits. So this one is kind of where do you want to put your points and how do you want to spend them? Let's go with 3 Rhinos. And then our first detachment is going to be a Veteran Cadre unlocked by the Legion Champion. And this is going to give you your Phoenix Terminators, Palatine Blade Squad, so regular dudes on foot, and a Land Raider Carrier. And then you're going to do the Primacy Wing, which is the Legion-specific detachment. And this is going to give you a Praetorian Command Squad, so it's a retinue slot, and your Sun Killers, which is an elite slot. And then I picked a heavy support slot for Rylonar the Unyielding, who is a Contemptor Dreadnought. He's fine. He's okay. He's a Contemptor, and that's it. Unfortunately, they didn't give him anything better or anything extra, other than he can challenge Fulgrim Transfigured, or Fulgrim. He can just challenge Fulgrim if you're fighting another Emperor's Children list. So it's kind of lame, but he's fine. It's Contemptor. I wanted to throw him in a list because he's a character. So yeah. And I think the only thing I gave was combat vets, and that was to the despoilers, because there's not much else you can do. Unfortunately, I don't think the veteran cadre gets a prime slot. I'd have to go back and check, but if they did, it would be on like the Blade Squad. I know Primacy Wing does not get a command slot. And if it does, then I've completely missed that while I've been building these lists. So that would be something to look at. And while I have the book here, I'm just going to do it real quick. No, they don't. They have a retinue, an elite, and 2 fast attacks. Rylonar can also be swapped out, because this is how I built the list originally. Rylonar can also be swapped out for some Scimitar Bikes or a Xiphon. I thought those 2 would also be really cool here. I really do like the Xiphon. It's actually a pretty solid flyer. It's not bad. And then the Scimitar Jet Bikes are just fast. They could also be swapped out for Javelins. Javelins are better than the Scimitar Bikes, because they can do the Land Raiders and they have a higher toughness. But like, Scimitar Bikes look cool. Like, they look awesome. They just aren't that great. They should have toughness 5 and they would be a lot better. Anyway, let's keep going with the list. So the Loyal Sons, your Praetor and your Terminator armor. So probably Tartaros Terminator armor. That's probably how I did it. With a Paragon Blade. Them and the Phoenix Terminators go into the Land Raider carrier, and they go slay the Warlord hunting, because Terminators fighting the Warlords and other Terminators are just the way to go in this edition, and it actually just works out for you. They don't have Vanguard, unfortunately, because retinues don't have Vanguard, so it's really just slay the Warlord hunting. They don't really do much other than that. And they go fast, so they just go kill that unit, whatever unit the Warlord's with. The Palatine Blades and Tar Bits, I missed the T there. Go Vanguard hunting, because they do have Vanguard, and character hunting in a Rhino or on an enemy objective. Do they have Vanguard? Did I miss that? They might not have Vanguard. Oh, they have Vanguard 3. Woo, okay. Yes, perfect. So yeah, put your character who can go fight things, your cool character in a Rhino, and go fight them with some Vanguard dudes. Yeah, and they're pretty sweet. They hit pretty hard. They have a 2-up save and 2 wounds, so they are literally elites. And they swing at weapon skill 5, which is pretty normal for an elite. But they have give them the rapiers, the Phoenix rapiers, and they will do some work. Next is your Herald and a Praetorian Command Squad. Now again, a Praetorian Command Squad is a retinue, so they don't have Vanguard, but your Herald can take. You could give your Herald the prime benefit of the Paragon of Battle and make your Herald really good. You can also give him the Phoenix Spear. So he can get his Herald points, which are for you extra victory points. So put them in a Rhino and go character hunting for Herald points. That's just extra victory points for you. And then try to keep them alive as long as possible. You can do the Praetorian Command Squad with the Rapiers and Combat Shield. So they get a 5-up invul in combat, and they have these really bomb melee weapons. And then your Despoilers and your Legion Champion go into another Rhino towards an objective. Do I have that right? Yeah. So just go fight stuff. That's really what it is. You can also give your Legion Champion the Paragon of Battle, but I think your Herald will benefit more with the Herald points. Your Tactical Squad sits on your home objective, so the one Tactical Squad that you do have, and then whatever other squad that you made, a Tactical Despoiler or an Inducti. Your Inducti have Vanguard, so like that's cool. Your Despoiler they're just more fighty dudes, and then your Tacticals obviously just shoot bolters. So pick your poison on that one, and depending on how you have your points allocated, you can pick which one, and they're probably just going to have to rush up the field. There's not enough points remaining if you have Rylonar in the list to give them a Rhino, but if you take him out and put in maybe the Scimitar Bikes or the Xiphon or a single Javelin, you could finagle the points to give them a Rhino as well. And then your Sun Killers provide your anti-tank support as well as your Land Raider carrier. The Sun Killers have an amazing rule that allows them to get BS 5 once per battle, and you might as well use that the first turn. Pick out whatever you want to destroy and loose all of your las cannon shots into that unit or that vehicle. Maybe it's a super heavy. It doesn't really matter. Whatever it is, have them stand still and just loose their las cannons into it. And they will destroy whatever they have. Because if you don't move them, they're heavy damage, 48 inches, and then they're hitting on 3 or hitting on 2s, and then wounding or penetrating on 5s because of armor vein. So like, definitely just if it's a armor 14 tank. So definitely if you take 10 of them and just use their special rule right away, it's the way to go. Because I plan on doing the same thing. Because I also have this army. It was I traded some Tyranids for it, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to play with it. Rylanor does this thing, just send him forward, and if you do the scimitar bikes or a javelin or a Xiphon, just go fight stuff. Go do whatever they're good at. Scimitars are pretty quick. The javelins you can put las cannons on them for 5 points, and they can also be anti-tank. And then the Xiphon is definitely anti-tank. So yeah, just pick your poison there and have fun with that one. I normally put a picture here, and that one is old, so that blank spot is old, and the credit to blankness is nothing, so cool. I'm really good at this game. Alright, Flawless Blades. Excuse me. So, as you can see, that we have a Cacophony Legionnaire here, and that is what this one is about some traitor Emperor's Children. So, Crusade Detachment is going to be Lord Commander Elidolin. Oh god, that messes my brain up. Yeah, the Lord Commander. I don't know why I can't say his name properly. It's probably just the camera talking. Captain Lucius, a Legion champion in Terminator armor, are your command slots. For troops, you have a tactical squad and 2 despoilers. And most of these have power spears and phoenix spears in the list for the sergeant. And then 3 rhinos. I've done a tactical support squad, so I could bring the Cacophony, but also I fit in an apothecary, and you can actually proxy this dude as Fabius Bio, which is kind of cool. He's probably more of a Primus Medicae, but in this case, it actually works out pretty well. Put him with the despoilers. I don't know if I typed that right. I did. Okay, cool. Anyway. And then you do another veteran cadre because you have the Legion champion. So a Land Raider carrier, Phoenix Terminators, and the Palatine Blade Aquile squad. So in this case, the Aquile is the one with the jump packs because the Lord Commander also has a jump pack. So keep that in mind. And then Primacy Wing, again, Sun Killers, and 2 Javelin Speeders with las cannons. So, Flawless Blade notes. I didn't put a picture on this one either. Interesting. Your Legion champion in Terminator armor and your Phoenix Terminators go slay the Warlord hunting in a Land Raider carrier. Again, Terminators fighting Terminators, because most of the time your Praetors are going to be a Terminator. In this list, it actually isn't, but give him Paragon of Battle, so that way he has Weapon Skill 7 against a Praetor, which is going to be Weapon Skill 6. Yeah, go fight him and go do some damage. Take him out. Lucius, Fabius, and a set of despoilers go into a Rhino and go character and objective hunting. Lucius is pretty good in combat, and Fabius will just help keep you alive a little longer. So I would do that. Your Lord Commander and your Palatine Blade Aquile squad go Vanguard hunting. So he is a jump pack. He has a jump pack. You can deep strike them if you want to. That's a pretty bold move to do, but it's actually not too bad. Because again, they do have a 2-up save, so that's actually pretty cool. And he has 2-up save plus an invul, so that's actually not too bad. But you can also just send him forward. Your other despoilers go into a Rhino and go objective hunting. Your tactical squad stays on a home objective, and your Cacophony provide heavy support and light anti-armor. So the Cacophony weapons, the Noise Marines. Let me pull that one up. It is literally called the Cacophony. 36 range, firepower 3, range strength 6, AP 5, damage 1, critical on a 6. So it's a stun 2, overload 1. So it's actually not bad. If you roll 1s, you hurt yourself. If you roll a 6, it auto wounds and doubles the damage. And it's that's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet. I don't know if it becomes AP2. I can't remember if it does for critical. But either way, that's actually pretty sweet. Just because critical doesn't happen often. And then again, your Sun Killers and your Javelin Speeders provide anti-armor support. Your Sun Killers are your straight anti-armor. Again, use their special ability immediately. Your Javelins you can put on las cannons for 5 points, so just run around with your Javelins as well. It's actually pretty fun, pretty cool. All right, and the last list that I've created is called Lustful Ecstasy. And if you didn't notice the cool wicked demon picture, these are, I say, corrupted, closer to the corrupted version of the Emperor's Children, something that you would get into 40k. And let's get some Slaanesh demons in here for our first ally detachment in the list that we're building, or we have been building, and we're going to bring some demons in. So our Crusade detachment is going to have a Praetor as the high command, a standard Praetor. Your command slot is going to have a Centurion in Tartaros Terminator armor who's been upgraded to your Phoenix Warden. You're going to have 2 troops of Despoilers. One's going to have combat vets. 2 Rhinos for those Despoilers to go into. 2 Sakaran Omega, because to me, Emperor's Children are either Plasma or Volkite based. That's just the way to go, it seems like, in my brain. So like, I did some Sakaran Omegas because they're cool Sakarans. You're going to do an Armor Fist detachment with a Land Raider carrier. Then you're going to do a Primacy wing. I don't know why I wrote squad, but a wing with a Phoenix Terminators and Sun Killers. Again, your anti-armor. They're just so great. And then this is our first ally detachment. We're going to bring some demons. So we're going to bring a command of the Demon Hierarch with wings. And this can be a Demon Prince. It can be any version of the Demon Prince. That's actually pretty sweet. We're going to bring 2 sets of lesser demons, actually, and that's it. 2 lesser demons. X-Nay on that demon swarm. That was an old list that I was working on. I had it in there originally. You can kind of fit it in somewhere if you want to, but it's not necessary. And then you're going to do the demon behemoth, and this is where I would use like the Keeper of Secrets model, the larger demon model. But the lesser demons, you could use demonettes. I'd probably pick demonettes, or you could use Khorne bloodletters and like paint them purple, which would be pretty cool. But yeah, the demonettes are probably the more Slaanesh-y ones to choose from. And then the Keeper of Secrets for your behemoth. So your Praetor and your Despoilers go objective hunting and maybe slay the Warlord hunting in a Rhino. Your Phoenix Warden and your Phoenix Terminators definitely go slay the Warlord hunting because they have nothing else to do because they don't have Vanguard. Another set of Despoilers go in your Rhino and they can cover your home objective. Your Sun Killers and your Sakaran Omegas provide your anti-armor support. Your Sun Killers obviously going for the heaviest hitter that your opponent has, and then your Sakaran Omegas do whatever they do best. Your Demon Hierarch and your Behemoth just go forward and fight stuff. If it's people, if it's characters, if it's vehicles, just go destroy things. It's actually pretty funny. And then your lesser demons can swarm a middle objective or your opponent's objective, or they can stay back on yours, and you can go for that roll to get extra line points. Again, your mileage may vary with whatever weapons you choose, but I think incorporating some demons into this would actually be pretty fun to do. So that's the list. So if you've made it this far, great. Hopefully you've learned some stuff and maybe got some ideas on how to build some Emperor's Children lists. And there's a whole lot of different ways you can do it. And again, they just want to be the best at what they do. So make sure that they are the best at what they do and roll really well. Roll really high for all the things you need to roll high for, and roll really low for those status saves. And we can talk about some units to pick up if you were to start this army today. So pick up Praetor. The Legion Praetor is pretty cool. The Terminator Praetor is also really cool. I believe he has a blade and a combi bolter. It actually looks pretty sweet. Sol Tarvitz is actually a pretty cool model. And these ones are a little older. They're a little outdated, but they're pretty sweet. Lucius, I'd pick up a Legion Champion, a Herald, and Lord Commander Eidolon. There we go. Eidolon. Lord Commander. I might cut that out. I don't know. You are going to want 40 to 50 Marines, 2 sets of Despoilers, 1 set of Tacticals, a set of Sun Killers, and a set of Cacophony. You're going to have to buy some Noise Marine stuff for that. Set of Phoenix Terminators, at least 1 Land Raider, and 3 to 4 Rhinos. I would pick up 2 sets of Palatine Blades, and 1 I would give jump packs to, so get those 3D printed, or another set of jump packs so you can do a 10-man squad of those. I did put an Assault Squad here because a different list had one in it. Assault Squad's pretty cool. They're quick. They're pretty much Despoilers, but they give you line, or they give you Vanguard instead. So I'd probably recommend it. Your Javelin land speeders are also pretty sweet. Take 2. Your Sicarans are also very quick. Take 2. And then we start getting into the bigger stuff like Fulgrim Transfigured, which is the drawing right here, that artwork. I do want that model. I think it looks so cool, and I just love collecting demon princes. So I probably will pick that up at some point. I might actually pick up the other one too. So I'd have two Fulgrims, and then I would have 2 Angrons, because why wouldn't you collect the demons? And then some just get demons. So demonettes, the Keeper of Secrets, the fiends are cool, like Demon Beast or Demon Brutes. Those are pretty sweet. And just buy some Age of Sigmar demons for your Emperor's Children. And then you start getting into your heavier or your fast stuff. Grab 2 sabers, which I guess are recon, but they are pretty quick. Those are pretty sweet. A Xiphon, a Fire Raptor are also pretty solid. And then a super heavy, to me, Emperor's Children Scream Glaive, because it is a Volkite. But you could also do you could do any of the ones that are available. It's just, I think Glaive when I think of Emperor's Children. So yeah, that's what I would do. And that's the units I would pick up. So that's pretty much it for this one. I do actually want to exit this out, and I have all these tabs open because I want to talk about some of them. So here are your demons. I don't really, Chaos Bones are lame. They need to update those, but like Seekers of Slaanesh are your cavalry. Your fiends are pretty sweet. Demonettes are your basic. And then the Keeper of Secrets is going to be your behemoth. And then the Demon Prince. So this is the 40k stuff. And there's the Fulgrim, the other Fulgrim model, which is pretty sweet. This Battle Force and this Combat Patrol are pretty sweet. And those are the things I want to highlight, as well as like this dude, the Lord Cacophonist. So this is the old Palatine Blade Squad. They are a little outdated because they're a little small and they are resin. But they're pretty sweet. So they have the blades, right? They look good. They are what I would use for like the loyalist ones. But if you really want to get super Slaaneshi, move over and start doing the these dudes. The new Emperor's Children, I think a lot of them are in Mark 6 armor anyway. But they look so cool. You could trim up, you could remove a lot of this trim and like some of the demon stuff, but you could definitely use all of these as a traitor Emperor's Children. Look at this guy. This is perfect beaky armor right here. But you could use him as a traitor Emperor's Children for your Horus Hersey list. And I'm all about it. I think it's actually pretty sweet. So I would get these to do that if I was starting new, but I traded for a whole army, so I don't have to do that. But if I was starting new, I might consider these depending on the scale, because I don't think I've seen one of these in real life compared to the beaky Marines that are for Heresy at the moment. But I would pick this dude up anyway, because this dude is just badass looking. Like, he's awesome. Here's your Sonic Shrieker, right? And your Sonic Lance. Like, this is the epitome of that character. Like, a character with a Shrieker and a Lance. This is awesome. I would use this as your champion, or hell, this could be your Herald. I don't know. It looks cool though. And then Demon Prince, yeah, this would be just the Hierarch with wings. So yeah, that is the Emperor's Children thematic list building. So hopefully you got something out of that. It does take me a little bit to make these lists, because like, as you can see, I go back and forth and I wait a little bit and I go back and I look at it, and then, life gets in the way. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into these lists and a lot of thought, and I try to make them as thematic as possible. So if you've made it this far, I want to thank you again for making it this far if you have, and watching. And I just want to thank everybody who has subscribed. That 500 benchmark is actually really exciting, and it makes me want to continue to make these, and it makes me to continue want to make content. It's hard to do that with a full-time job. So any little bit of your comments, your likes, your subscribes, your sharing, any of that stuff helps, and it boosts my my mentality to keep doing these kind of things. And I would love to get YouTube partnership at some point. It's not like a huge deal to me. I make these because I think they're exciting and it's fun. But like, to have YouTube partnership, that'd be pretty cool, just to get paid a little bit for all the work that gets put into this stuff. So if you want to help me reach that goal, please share these videos with your friends. Watch them. Watch all of them a few times. I don't know. Other than just I need you have to watch and then share, and I get more subscribers. So share with your friends. Give shout outs if you're your own YouTube channel and you're watching these things, like Sean did from Hopeless Heresy. So I really thank you, Sean. It does mean a lot, and I felt so excited when somebody saw that and like shared it. That was awesome. I would love to know what Legion you guys want to see next. Because otherwise I will pick my next one, which I'm wishy-washy between, but it will be a loyalist one. But if you have a specific one you want to see next, please put it in the comments down below, because I would rather make a list for you guys than do the ones that I want to do, because I'm here for you guys, and I'm excited to make these lists. And there are legions at the local store that I don't have, that I haven't seen play yet, and I want to make lists for those too. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below which one you want to see next. I would really appreciate it. And then if you like this kind of content and you like these thematic list buildings, I'm going to link maybe one you should see or go to right here, right around here. Yeah, I'm going to try to link that so one pops up that you can go to the next one and watch another one for me, because you know the algorithm likes that. So yeah. But with all of that, again, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I'll be putting out more videos soon. I actually have a few that I've recorded that I'm working on editing real quick so I can put them out. So stay tuned for the next one. But until then, until the next video comes out, go make a mess. Bye guys. Have a good one.